Viewers and subscribers, please make sure to subscribe to Saga News TV and give a like and share, because if you don't, you will miss out a lot of news.
28 years old Michael Thomas of Blackwood, Clarendon has been slapped with several charges in relation to two separate incidents in the parish. In relation to the first incident, Thomas was charged with robbery with aggravation and rape following an incident at a bar in Tollgate in the parish on Wednesday, May 21. Reports are that about 7 p.m. on that date, a man entered the bar and ordered cigarettes. On being served, he brandished a firearm and demanded sexual from the bartender. After the act, he demanded more cigarettes and cash before escaping in the area. In relation to the second incident on the same night, Thomas has been charged with robbery with aggravation and possession of a prohibited weapon. That incident took place at another bar on Main Street in Maypen, the parish capital. Reports from the Maypen police are that a man went to the bar and ordered a drink. While being served, he brandished a firearm and demanded cash and the bartender iPhone before escaping in the area. The incident was reported to the police, who commenced an investigation, which resulted in Thomas being apprehended and subsequently charged. Murder, robbery with aggravation, using a firearm to commit a felony, and possession of a prohibited weapon. Charge have been laid against a 29-year-old Christopher Hunt, otherwise known as Alkaline, of Caton Lane, Mount Salem, Montego Bay, St. James, in relation to the shooting death of a suspended police officer along Barnett Street in Montego Bay on Monday, June 16. Dead is 37 years old Gary Hamilton of Albion Road, Montego Bay. Reports from the police are that at about 5:54 p.m. on June 16, Hamilton was standing outside a business establishment when Hunt approached him and tried to force him inside. When the attempt failed, Hunt reportedly opened gunfire at Hamilton before subsequently robbing the establishment and flee the area. The police were alerted on their arrival. Hamilton was transported to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Following an investigation which reviewed the CCTV footage, Hunt was apprehended in St. Catherine a day after the killing and robbery. He was formally charged on Wednesday, June 25, after reportedly confessing to have committed the crimes, and a question and answer session being conducted. A court date is being arranged for him. An unidentified man is reportedly shot and killed during a reportedly confrontation with a police team in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Thursday. The Independent Commission of Investigation INDECOM has since launched a probe into the matter. Reports are that about 3:50 p.m., police personnel from the St. Catherine North Specialized Operational Team were on patrol in Spanish Town when information led them to Prince Avenue. Upon their arrival at a boardhouse, a man was reportedly observed with a firearm. The man allegedly pointed the weapon at the police and fired several shots. The police say they took evasive action and returned the fire, and the man was shot and injured. A Glock pistol fixed with a magazine loaded with 2 rounds of 9mm cartridges was reportedly seized from him. The man was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. A policeman is in hospital after allegedly fatally shooting his post before turning his gun on himself at the Richmond St. Mary home on Wednesday evening. The deceased has been identified as 21-year-old infant school teacher Janae Graham, otherwise called Maya. Preliminary reports are that about 9:15 p.m. the couple was at home when an earlier argument over a phone call Graham had received escalated. The constable, who is assigned to the St. Andrew North Police Division, shot Graham in the head with a service pistol, then used the weapon to inflict a gunshot wound to his own head. Graham was pronounced dead, while the cop was rushed to the Anata Bay Hospital, where he was admitted in serious but stable condition. The St. Elizabeth police have apprehended a man who has been implicated in the stabbing death of an ecstasy dancer at a nightclub in Santa Cruz in the parish on Saturday. The deceased is 34-year-old Nikisha Francis Manford, otherwise called Chocolate, of Queensway in Yala, St. Thomas. Reports are that about 3 a.m., the man was among patrons at a nightclub when an argument developed between him and Francis Manford over money. During the dispute, the man allegedly used a knife to stab Francis Manford multiple times. The police were alerted and the wounded woman was taken to hospital, where she succumbed to her injuries. Acting on intelligence, the police subsequently arrested the suspect. at a property in Santa Cruz. Investigators are continuing to probe the development. Sleuths assigned to the Trelawney Criminal Investigation Branch are probing the circumstances surrounding the fatal shooting of a 60-year-old man at Retreat Heights in the parish on Thursday. Simon Blanchard, a retired of Retreat Heights, was killed at his home. The Falmouth police say about 5:10 a.m., residents heard a commotion and went to investigate and stumbled upon the lifeless body of Blanchard in his house. Blanchard was reportedly lying face down with stab wounds to his upper body. The scene was processed by the police, and the body was removed to the hospital, where death was confirmed. A St. Andrew man has been charged with housebreaking in and larceny, following an incident along Mayfair Avenue, Kingston 19 on Monday, December 16. Charge is 29-year-old Kieran Mason of Whitehall Avenue. Reports from the Constant Spring Police are that the occupants of the house retired to bed at about 12:35 a.m. The next morning, they discovered that the house had been broken into. Further checks revealed that several items, including cell phones and handbags, were missing. Lawmen initiated an investigation into the matter after a report was made to them, and fingerprints which were left from the scene were processed. The automated fingerprint identification system subsequently revealed that the fingerprint matched Mason, who is alleged serious housebreaker. He was apprehended in another parish on Friday, January 10, and taken into custody where he was charged on Sunday, June 29, following an interview in the presence of his attorney. A court date is been arranged for him. The body of a 62-year-old man has been recovered after his motor vehicle was plunged into the sea near the Portmore Causeway Bridge early Sunday. His identity has not been revealed. The news understand that members of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, along with the Jamaica Defence Force JDF Coast Guard, are still working to locate the motor vehicle he was driving. Details surrounding the cause of the incident have not been revealed. A member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF Constable Demar Johnson was placed before the St. Thomas Parish Court on Wednesday and charged in relation to a non-fatal shooting incident of a taxi operator on August 12, 2024 at Wharf, Morant Bay in the parish. Johnson alleged that during a confrontation, the taxi operator pulled a machete and attacked him, resulting in him discharging his firearm. No weapon was recovered by Independent Commission of Investigation INDECOM during the probe. Eyewitness also give report to that of the police officer. Following an investigation by INDECOM, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution ruled that Johnson should be charged for wounding with intent. Johnson was granted $450,000 bail with 1 to 2 surety. On reporting condition, the next mentioned court date is September 19. In 2025, 8 officers, 7 from the JCF and 1 from the Department of Correctional Service, have been charged in relation to case investigated by INDECOM. The officers were charged in relation to fatal and non-fatal shooting incident and assault. In 2024, 24 JCF, 3 DCS officers and 1 Jamaica Defence Force officer were charged in relation to an INDECOM investigation incident.